Hello and welcome to part 1 of our Julia Basics Guide. This part will start our discussion with her core moveset, then in part 2 we'll do an overview discussion of her general gameplay and strategy, and finally we'll finish it off in part 3 with punishers, juggles, players to watch, and a quick recap. As usual, I will note quickly that we are on Tekken version 3.33. Season 4 isn't too far off, but you can expect characters to play generally the same, so these guides should still be applicable. However, be on the lookout for update videos once Season 4 releases, as we will discuss significant changes you should be aware of. Don't forget too that I provide a written version of these guides, which you can find in the video description below. Enough of all of that, let's talk about Julia's essential moves. We'll talk about stances in part 2, although there are some full crouch while standing moves that are useful outside of a mix-up context, we'll still address them there. Julia has a fairly standard 1-2, but also some strings to go with them. 1-1-1 is an NCC launcher, -14 on block, although you should practice confirming if 1-1 hits counter hit and then finishing the string on reaction. 1-2-1-1 is a high mid-low, and you'll see a lot of Julia's hunt for the third hit as a counter hit, since that's when the low is guaranteed. Regardless, the threat of mids gives her jabs a bit more mental frames, and she can also go into CES from 1-2. Magic 4 is magic. It's a fast counter hit tool, also string options for additional safety, which you'll actually need in this case because her Magic 4 is -12 on block, whereas generic Magic 4s are safe. Most notably with this string is that 4-4-1 is a launcher if the second hit connects counter hit. 4 slide 2 is a simultaneous low high. 4 slide 2-1 is NCC, but if the low hits by itself, the 1 is still guaranteed. The low reaches farther than the high, so there are a lot of setups for this. It's particularly good at the wall since the 1 splats, and obviously good on Oki via these various setups. Very unsafe though, so just remember to mix it up properly. 1+2 is a safe mid, 1+2-4 is a natural combo and -12 on block, but the potential third hits provide cover, especially at the wall where they can wall splat. 1+4 is a mid-low natural combo, free forward 3 on hit, very risky though since the second hit is -26, it gives that big block stun, and the first is still -18 if you cancel the second hit with down. Most of the time you'll still get away with it, but just be aware of the danger against quick defensive players. Forward 2-1 is a high natural combo. It doesn't jail, but forward 2-4 is high mid, also a natural combo and also safe. Forward 2-1-2 is the juicy mid wall splatter at only -10. It's only ever guaranteed if the second hit connects counter hit, but still serves as a good check. Forward 2-1-3 is a swift step transition for mix-ups and pressure once they start to fear the forward 2-1-2. Forward 4-1 is a mid natural combo that wall splats. It can be delayed, -14 on block, but also I-15, so very good for punishing. Forward 1+2 is a mid power crush, extremely quick for a PC at I-18, and it also wall bounces, -14 on block, but just a great move considering the reward. Down forward 1 is a safe I-14 mid poke. If it hits a croucher, you get +14. Down forward 3, 1+2 is a common, easy follow-up, but you can also get forward 3, forward 1-4, or forward 1+2. Down forward 1 does have garbage range though, so be careful. Down forward 2 is an I-15 mid. All of the extensions from it are natural combos. Down forward 2-1 is the launcher at -18 on block, but down forward 2-3 slide 1 is the most common since, again, it's still a natural combo, but it's also safe, it wall splats, and it's very hard to see on reaction to duck. Otherwise, you can just use the swift step transition to do other swift step stuff. We'll talk about that in part 2. Down forward 3, 1+2 is a mid I-13 natural combo, and it knocks down or wall splats. -13 on block for the second hit, but down forward 3 alone is a solid mid poke and safe. Down forward 3+4 is an S mid string, so that first hit is parryable, but it's a natural combo and safe. Nice chunky 30 damage on hit and +9. Down 3 is -1 on hit, but extremely fast at I-13. Only -12 on block and nice range and tracking. Sets up spacing traps well too, but -1 might as well be neutral, and simply having a low that fast is a really nice thing to have. Down 4 is a high crushing low. Down 4-1 is an NCC launcher, -14 on block. Down 4-4 is a low, also NCC, but represents a small mix-up if you don't fully trust that you'll get a counter hit with down 4-1, but still want to stop them from hitting buttons. Down 4, 1 slide 2 is a safe mid, but it's really slow and can be stepped both ways even on hit, so probably best to avoid that. Down 1+2 is an I-16 power mid, wall splats and its long range, very solid punisher. -14, but the range allows it for more safety if you space it out. Down back 1 is a high crushing mid, counter hit launcher, -12 on block, solid range and still +5 on normal hit. Down back 4-1 is an NCC low mid knockdown string, free forward 4-3 after the knockdown. The mid is only -10 and provides nice cover for the low, which is -1 on hit. Back 1 is an I-18 safe counter hit launching mid, forces crouch and gives +5 on normal hit, very decent range. Back 3 is very slow at I-27 and also unsafe at -13, although it's slow enough to simply be parried on reaction. Still, it's a high crushing counter hit launching low, and even if you don't get the counter hit, you still get +4 on normal hit, which sets up a nice full crouch mix-up. Back 4 is a homing launcher, +1 on block. It is a high, but it's quick at I-18 and has decent range. One of the better homing moves in the game, so always be mindful of how they're stepping. Back 1+2 is a long range mid launcher, -13 on block, but because of its range, you'll find good use of this as a whiff punisher. Up forward 1 is a safe mid counter hit launcher, +4 on normal hit, pretty bad recovery on whiff, so watch out for that, but otherwise a common tool for her neutral game. Up forward 4-3 is Julia's hop kick string, a little different than the standard hop kick in that it's I-16 rather than the normal I-15, and of course it's a 2-hit string, the second hit being the actual launcher. Up forward 4 is by itself safe if you want to just poke with it. There is a third hit, a punch, but even if you do that, it doesn't prevent 13 frame moves from punishing you, and in that case you're going to be giving them a counter hit, so probably best not to do that. Forward 1 is arguably Julia's best move. It's an I-11 mid elbow, only -2 on block, +4 on hit, +7 on counter hit, and it can track if you time the dash properly. Forward 1-4 is a natural combo, and if the second hit connects counter hit, it launches. So even though the second hit is a high, it's still a very scary check against buttons. Forward 1-4 splats, and forward 1 can also sneak under highs. Does just about everything you could possibly want a move to do, so needless to say that it's super spammable. You'll be using this a lot. Forward 2 is a rangy mid, free forward 3 on hit, -13 but can space it to make it only -12. Range makes it a solid punisher, although you'll probably use this most often on Oki since it hits grounded. Forward 3 is an I-12 rangy mid, hits grounded, and you'll be using this a lot on Oki. Free running 2-1 on hit, -14 on block, but still super good since it's so quick and so long range. Forward 1+2 is a safe mid knockdown wall bouncer, very quick at I-13, big damage potential for only -7 on block, so spam this at the wall for sure. Down forward 1 is an I-12 mid poke, down forward 1-2 is the mid check, -14 on block, NCC, and it'll knock down or wall splat. Down forward 1 can also go into CES, which is probably what you'll normally do unless you just decide to stop at the first hit. Quarter circle forward 2 is a safe high launcher. It doesn't crush, but it does like to go under highs on occasion. Very quick at I-15, this is another tool that she uses to control the neutral and deter buttons. Running 1 is a running elbow, +4 on block, knockdown wall splat with a free running 2-1 on hit out in the open. It is a high though, but with her bevy of mids and the move's sheer speed, you'll have plenty of opportunities to throw this out safely. Sidestep 2 is a safe, high crushing mid poke, but stun on counter hit, although you don't get anything for free afterwards. However, it does recover crouch, so whether it's normal hit or counter hit, it's useful to start some full crouch mix-ups. Sidestep 4 is another of her plus on hit lows at +3, free forward 3 on counter hit. It is slow, but roughly the same speed as Sidestep 3+4, which is a mid launcher. Both are fairly unsafe, -13 and -21 respectively, so be careful for that. You can also just use Sidestep 2 for a safer, albeit less rewarding mid option. Sidestep 3 is a safe, knockdown, splatting power mid, also gives a nice spacing situation on block due to the pushback, so you're not just giving up your turn if it happens to get blocked. Julia's Rage Drive is an I-15 mid-mid, +2 on block, which means absolutely nothing in the open due to the pushback. However, it gives +7 and a little bit of damage at the wall on block due to the wall push. But most importantly, it wall splats from way downtown. Thanks for watching part 1 of our Julia guide. Hopefully this overview gives you a place to start as you learn the character. As mentioned, part 2 will take a look at some common strategies and metas to fast track your game plan. Before we leave, don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube. I also try to stream whenever I can, so a link to Twitch is down in the video description below. There are Twitter and Facebook page links down there too. Lastly, consideration for the Patreon is greatly appreciated. Patreon is definitely the best way to support your favorite content creators. We now have 2 patrons, Tato and EDM, so big shout outs to those 2 for the support, as that helps immensely. The channel has been growing fast lately, so thank you all for your support. You're the best. So we hope you enjoy the content since we got a lot more coming. So stay safe, guys, and we'll see you next time.